It begins with a wedding, a day that should be filled with joy, with champagne glasses catching the light, and a bride glowing in the center of it all. But for me, it started with a question, and an answer that would tear open decades of unspoken tension. My daughter Marnie is getting married next month, and when I asked her if she planned to have a memorial table for her older sister, Brooke, the daughter I lost when she was just 5 years old, she said no. It wasn't just a no. It was sharp. It was final. She told me she wanted, for once, a day that was about her. Those words stung. For nearly 3 decades, I've carried Brooke's memory into every milestone of our family's life. I bring her photo to holidays. I talk about her often. I've set a chair for her at birthdays, at Christmas dinners, even at Marnie's high school graduation. I have never, not once, let her be forgotten. And I suppose, in my mind, I thought that was love. A mother's love that refuses to fade. But when I asked Marnie about honoring her sister at her wedding, she didn't see love. She saw a shadow she's been living under for her entire life. She said even her graduation wasn't just hers. That day, I had placed a framed picture of Brooke in an empty seat so she would be there. To me, it was a comfort. To Marnie, it was another reminder that she would never stand fully in her own spotlight. She told me I needed to stop making my grief the centerpiece of every occasion. I told her she was being selfish. I told her that until she experienced a loss like mine, she could never understand. And then she asked me a question that felt like a slap. Will my children have to live under Brooke's shadow too? I told her she should be ashamed, that she needed to get over herself. That was when my son stepped in. He told me I was being terrible, that I needed to reevaluate my life. I wish I could tell you that I heard those words, and something inside me shifted, that I had a moment of clarity. But I didn't. In that moment, I felt attacked, as if the 2 children I still have were trying to erase the one I lost. The truth is, losing Brooke shattered me. When she died, I felt like a part of my soul went into the ground with her. I went to therapy. I still go. But grief like that doesn't vanish. It becomes part of you. It shapes the way you see the world. And maybe, without realizing it, I've let it shape the way I see my children too. I have always been afraid that if I stop speaking Brooke's name, she will disappear. That the world will forget her entirely. I never wanted that to happen, so I made sure she was present, always. But now, I hear Marnie's words, and I see her face when she said them. I think about the milestones of her life, birthdays, graduations, holidays, and how often I've spoken about Brooke instead of her. I think about my son, standing beside her, telling me I was being cruel. It's not just about a memorial table. It's about the weight of a ghost that's been sitting at our table for 26 years. And in my quietest moments, I wonder, have I honored one child's memory at the cost of the other's happiness? I remember Marnie's exact tone when she said she wanted her wedding day to be hers. It wasn't cold. It was pleading. A plea to step out from the shadow of a sister she barely remembers. A sister she's been told about her entire life, but never truly knew. And I think about how often I've told them, until you go through a loss like mine, you'll never understand. Maybe I never stopped to think that they had a loss too, but theirs was different. They didn't just lose a sister, they lost parts of their mother. For them, my grief wasn't just about Brooke. It was a constant presence that shaped their childhood. And now, it's shaping this wedding. The fight with Marnie ended in silence. She didn't yell back. She just looked at me like I was a stranger. My son shook his head and walked away, and I was left alone with the echo of my own words. I know what I told her. I know I called her selfish. I know I told her to get over herself. But I keep asking, who exactly needs to get over themselves? This wedding is supposed to be a celebration of her life, her love, her future. And here I am, trying to weave the past into it. I don't know if I can change. I don't know if I even want to, because the thought of Brooke fading terrifies me. But the thought of losing the children I still have, that terrifies me too. So I find myself here, at this impossible intersection of grief and love, wondering if in holding on to one child, I'm pushing the others away. And I can't help but ask, so, am I the asshole? Because maybe the real question isn't about a memorial table. Maybe it's about whether I've been so lost in my own pain that I forgot how to see my children as more than the ones left behind. Sometimes, grief becomes a mirror we can't look away from. It reflects the moment of loss so clearly, so vividly, that we stop seeing the faces of the living right beside us. In this story, we hear the pain of a mother who loves deeply, but also the pain of children who have grown up in the shadow of that love. There's a hard truth here. Honoring the dead should never mean neglecting the living. The most powerful tribute we can give to those we've lost might not be in empty chairs or photographs, but in showing up fully for the people still here. So I'll leave you with this. If you've ever carried a loss that heavy, ask yourself, are you holding on to the memory, or is the memory holding on to you? And in keeping one alive, are you letting another fade? I want to know what you think. Should she have respected her daughter's wish for a day free of grief? Or was she right to insist that Brooke be remembered in the way she's always done?